Hey, welcome back to another video in the Emacs goodie series. Today we are going to talk about a mode called bug reference mode. As you can probably guess from the name, it has to do something with bugs, and it does. You are right. You are a psychic, my friend. All right. So what does it do? It essentially creates a hyperlink on bug. How can I say? When you're programming or when you're in text and you want to put a reference to a bug, you usually put a link to it. Here you can actually just put the ticket ID, and Emacs this mode will buttonize it. I guess you can say we'll add an overlay that's clickable, and once you click it, it'll open the browser and take you to that URL where the ticket is hosted, which is pretty cool. I am definitely going to use this once I configure it properly, but for now this is going to be a demo purposes. This is going to be for demo. I'll show it off and we'll go from there. So okay, let's open this file up. So I have some things. So for example, you see here, this is just an example like Wells 123, another 123. I can have pizza 543 or whatever. So these are just going to be examples on when I turn on the mode and everything's configured correctly. I should see some type of overlay that indicates that I can click it and it'll open up a browser. So enough talking, let me demo it. So bug reference mode, as you can see, it's on from the mini buffer, but nothing's happening. You're like, 𝗩𝗶𝗱𝗲, you just lied to me. You said I'll highlight and be clickable and do my taxes and all that. Well, I kind of lied. Well, not really. First thing first is that Emacs needs to know how to find those bug references in your code. It won't just magically do it because it doesn't know everything. So you need to configure it. So for the first line, you can simply ignore this. I'm just setting this so that Emacs won't open a tab in Firefox or Chrome. The demo will simply stay within Emacs. So this is going to use the built-in Emacs browser called 𝗩𝗂𝗽𝗍. I guess that's how you pronounce it. I'm not exactly sure. But anyways, I like using it. And for this purpose of the demo, we will use it to stay within Emacs. All right. So when you turn on a bug reference, you need to configure two variables. And one of those is the regex and the URL format. Now, the regex is to allow Emacs or the mode to find the references. So once it finds the references, it needs to know how to format that reference into a URL, and that way when you click on it, it'll take you to where you want. So for this example, we're saying, hey, this is going to be a series of letters followed by a dash and then a series of numbers. So like these, what we have here. That's basically the quick gist. Do not worry about the regex. It is just for demo purposes. All right, cool. So next up is the URL format. So this can be a string of saying, hey, whenever you see a string that matches this will be the place where I want you to go. Now, a string by itself is handy when you have all the tickets in one single page, but if you're using something like Jira, it's going to be very dynamic. Each ticket will have its own page. So for example, this will be whatever domain, the domain followed by pizza right here, and then the ticket number 5432 right here. So each ticket has its own page, so you can't really just rely on a static URL. You have to dynamically create it. And lucky for us, the URL formats either allows a string or a function that will dynamically create it on the fly. So what does this function do? Well, let's go ahead and read. So the function is called Jira ticket URL, and it's going to format this string. Well, for right now, it's going to format this Google one just to showcase it. Because if we do this, it's going to redirect me. At least Jira is going to redirect me to the login page. And since the built-in browser in Emacs does not run JavaScript, I'm not going to get very far. So this is just going to be a demo of doing this and seeing that it actually works. Yeah, but you'll have to believe in me, or you can try it yourself that it actually works. So that'll be a little homework. All right, enough talking. Let me explain. So we're saying, all right, we're going to grab this string, and then we're going to match the first parentheses. So how match string works, just a quick 101, is that if you don't pass a string, it'll say, I'll match at whatever context was last used, which is this regex. So it'll say, all right, match string, and I want the first instance of whatever is enclosed in the parent. So for the first group. So it's saying, all right, first group is this one, and then the third group, I'm going to put it here. So this doesn't really need to be in a group. Like I said, the regex isn't perfect. It's just for demo purposes. But anyways, this is the third one. So it's going to grab, for example, this. Wells will be the first part, and then this will be the second. First, second. You guys get the idea. So once it does that, it's going to format it. So google.com query equals pizza-54321 if we're using this example, and then yes. So you're saying, all right, you're talking a lot, just show me what it does. All right, I'll show you. So let me evaluate this. Did I evaluate this? I can actually just do eval buffer to evaluate everything, and it should work. So now let me turn off the mode and let me turn it on, and it should work now. You should see everything. Oh, buffer hello does not conform to the contract. Okay, so you'll get this error if the regex does not match exactly how it was expecting it. So for right now, we'll ignore it because it should still work. But anyways, if we go over here and if we click it, you'll see that right here, we see that the query, if you can zoom in, or not zoom in, but if you can see where my cursor, my mouse is at, you can see pizza-54321, and also I filled up the query right here. Anyways, all right, cool. So that one's not great. So let's go with this one. Another 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go. So another thing here is that you don't have to use the mouse to click it. You can do Control-C and then enter. And again, it'll take you right here. And as you can see, the query is pre-filled. Another 1, 2, 3. So this just shows you a demo on how to use this to populate it. So of course, this doesn't have to be this. You can actually use your company's Jira or whatever bug tracker you use and customize it and format it however you need it to format. But that's pretty neat, and yeah, that's pretty neat. So let's go ahead and look at the file bug reference mode as we usually do. And so, oops. So yeah, as you can see, buttonized bug references. So that's pretty cool. As for customization, I don't remember. Yeah, so the only one is the bug regex. Other than that, it just says, hey, these are all the functions that you'll need. And the only thing that I would say is that bug reference comes with this bug reference prog mode, which is pretty handy if you're going to use this in programming modes like I am. So it'll only buttonize in comments and in strings, so it won't touch your code or anything, which is pretty nice. It's pretty nice that it'll be able to differentiate between that. But yeah, that's a quick demo, and let me know what you think. Thanks.